Howdy everybody, I'm Christy with Littlesaltyhomesteader. Welcome back if you are returning to view more videos. If this is your first time here, welcome to the crap show, as I like to say. Today we're going to talk about tomatoes. This is probably my favorite thing to grow. It's definitely one of my favorite things to eat out of the garden. You like tomatoes out of the garden? Kind of. You have yogurt on your face.
I didn't have yogurt today.
Maybe it's milk.
Oh.
You have, what do you like that uses the tomatoes from the garden?
Salsa.
Salsa. Yes, we love us some garden fresh salsa, huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's very good. Okay.
So this little cutie pie and I wanted to take a little bit of time today to talk to you a little bit about tomatoes. The kind that we grew this year that we liked the best, maybe a few kinds that we're not going to grow again, and an experiment that we're going to do for the fall. But first of all, I kind of want to discuss why my tomatoes that I have growing still kind of look like Dr. Seuss trees. You can see back there. They are pruned very heavily up the stalks with just leaves at the very top, and there's a few reasons for that. One, we're in a pretty severe drought. We haven't had any measurable rain since the beginning of May, and it is now August. So it has been very dry, but it's also been very humid. So I've had a lot of fungus issues with fungus showing up on different leaves and such. I am also still currently battling spider mites. So I'm trying to give them as few places as they can to do the spider mite things that they do. So with there being no rain and with it being so humid, I wanted to give as much airflow as I could to these tomatoes while still giving them a few leaves to continue to try to grow. But I recently read something from Dirt Doctor where he said if you currently have summer tomatoes that aren't producing, which I do have several that aren't because it has been over 100 degrees since June, you can cut them down to about 6 inches above the ground and just keep them watered really well, and in the fall they should start shooting more greenery back up and produce more tomatoes. So I do have a few plants that don't have any tomatoes currently on them that are very heavily pruned already. So I'm going to do this as an experiment, and of course I'll update you guys in future videos. So what that means is we are going, yes, this one is one of them. So we're going to start with this tomato right here, and we're going to cut it probably to about right here, if you could see that. And I'll remove all these zip ties and things. And this tomato plant is not sick, so I'm going to compost the rest. And I'm just going to kind of let it rest and stay hydrated until it cools back down, and hopefully it starts shooting off more greenery. And we can get some more tomatoes off of it. Because I know a little boy who would love some more salsa. You want some more salsa?
Yeah, and to try homemade pizza.
Homemade pizza?
Yeah, that sounds good.
I do have some tomatoes in the freezer that I can make some pizza sauce with.
They look like when you take a Band-Aid off and there's just a mark there.
Okay, so I did cut this right here, if you can see that. It's only about 6 inches tall. There's no branches or anything coming off. I am going to keep hydrated because I do have beans growing in here as well. Just give the tomato plant itself some time to rest, and hopefully cooler temperatures will be here soon. We are in August, so we do have to get through kind of the dog days of summer, but then it should start cooling off in September or so. So hopefully we see some greenery shoot off of that plant.
It's gonna be cooler.
And I'm gonna do that to 2 or 3 more of the tomato plants that I have. I think I have about 30 left growing out here. I did have some that got too sick and I just had to pull them up. I am not going to touch this wild rambler right here. This plant right here. This plant is wild and rambling and kind of doing its own thing. It's probably like 12 feet tall at this point, if you can see all the way down.
But the important thing is it's connected to our big pet spider, Georgia.
She left. We don't
did?
have Georgia anymore.
Oh.
This
Rest in peace, Georgia.
this tomato plant, this wild rambler here, came from seeds from my grandfather in Louisiana, and that's the last thing that he grew before he passed away. So I am growing it wild and rambling in honor of his youth. Whenever he was a wild rambling youth in Wiley, Texas, he used to cause a ruckus. So I'm not going to touch that one. I am pruning off, damaged parts and picking off hornworms and stuff like that. But other than that, I'm just letting it go crazy. I just want to see what it'll do. And it's still producing, so I'm keeping it.
We both lost a lot of things. I have to duck under here.
I know.
I'm so tall.
So I am just going through and I'm cutting down. I'm probably going to cut down 4 or 5 of these total. Thank you, bud. Okay. Alright, so we got those cut. I am going to go up here on the patio and sit down because of these allergies. I am not feeling quite 100%. But life goes on. So I'm going to come up here and sit in the shade. And
Sit with you.
Logan's going to sit with me next to me here. Ooh, these seats are hot on the booty.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Here, scoot in a little bit. There we go. Okay. So that's an experiment. I will follow up with you guys, let you know how that is progressing. That was 5 plants. I'll probably go back and do one more because I saw that the tops were looking a little funky. But I'll let you guys know how that is going. If anything happens with those, I'll either get tomatoes or I won't. Either way, it's okay. I do have other plants that I'm leaving alone, so I should be able to get a fall bumper crop off of those. So that leads me to, now that we're out of the Dr. Seuss tomato tree forest, let's talk about the most successful tomatoes that we had this year. Honestly, the cherry tomato seeds that I planted from my pawpaw, those were the most prolific. I've probably picked 300 cherry tomatoes off of 2 plants that were from his seeds. Those were absolutely amazing. I think they were probably a hybrid variety that he got as a start from Home Depot or Lowe's or something. I don't think they were heirloom that he started the seeds for, but I can double check. The other pretty prolific ones that I had were black cherry and roselle. Some of the boreberries did really well for me. Those I got several off of those early in the season. I always start my tomatoes around New Year's because I do like to try to grow the bigger varieties, and because it gets so hot here so quickly, I try to give them a head start. That does mean that I up-pot them a couple more times before they're moved outside, but that's okay. That was successful for me this year because I was able to get black pineapple tomatoes, Italian heirloom tomatoes, some of the bigger tomatoes that I wouldn't be able to grow had I waited until February, like I am supposed to. So the cherry tomatoes, obviously super prolific in Texas. They grow really well. It doesn't seem to matter what type of cherry tomato it is that you plant. You're going to harvest quite a few off of it. And then the black pineapple, as I said, the Italian heirloom. I got humongous tomatoes off of the Italian heirloom. They're a super hardy ox heart variety, a big heart-shaped paste tomato. We're talking these tomatoes weighed close to a pound each. They were humongous. And then I also got quite a few carbon, black from Tula, and black Krim tomatoes. And I got quite a few bicolor pineapple tomatoes as well. And then black strawberry was the other prolific one that I had, which is beautiful and tastes really good. And the last prolific one that I grew this year, that I actually cut down because it ended up getting sick, was Evil Olive, and I'm not sure if I'm going to grow it again. The taste was great. It grew really well. We got dozens and dozens and dozens of tomatoes off of one plant. We probably got 100 Evil Olive tomatoes easily. But the skin was very thick, so it was, I mean, it had a chew to it whenever you went to bite it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to grow it again for that reason. But I am definitely going to grow the black pineapple, of course. The actual name for that is Ananas Noir, and I'm pretty sure I butchered the first word for that. But black pineapple, it's beautiful. It's a big beefsteak tomato. It's like green and red and orange and pink and so many different colors whenever it's ripe. Whenever you slice it, it's really marbled on the inside, and it has such a wonderful meaty flavor. And then Italian heirloom, of course I'm going to grow that again. I was very impressed with that Oxheart variety. And then I will definitely grow the Carbon, Black Creme Tula, and the Black Creme again. They all taste very similar. I couldn't tell the difference really in the taste. They were all equally prolific, so they will definitely go in my garden again. Giant Crimson, this was a variety.
Okay, I'll be right back. I gotta get some sunglasses.
Okay.
So I don't look weird.
Okay. Giant Crimson, this was a variety from In My Gardener that he released seeds for this year for the first time. He found these seeds in his grandfather's shadow box and sort of brought them back from extinction. Sorry, that word is very hard right now. Extinction, so to speak. And I grew several tomatoes on that plant, and it actually still has tomatoes on it, even though it's August. What is today? August 3rd, and it's 102 degrees. So that one is a good one for Texas here. Sartre Louise, this one was also one of my favorites. It's beautiful. It's yellow, but it has like dark blue shoulders. It's kind of sweet and also a little bit citrusy. It tastes wonderful. It's beautiful. It looks amazing in salads. That one was one of my favorites. We got several tomatoes off of that one as well. Definitely growing it again. Green Doctor is a green cherry tomato. It tastes a bit like green apple, so I was really happy with that one. Roselle, black cherry, pretty much any cherry tomato I'm going to grow again because I can continue to get those rolling in throughout the summer. It slows down during the hotter days, but we still kind of get them. And then black strawberry, like I said, that one is beautiful. It's like pink and purple and red and blue. It's just so beautiful. I'll try to put a picture here in the little picture-in-picture thingy because it's so pretty and it tastes wonderful, and the plant is really prolific. It's awesome. And then the bumblebee, cherry tomatoes, and the boreberries I will grow again. I am not going to grow. I'm gonna catch some hate for this, but that's okay. I'm not going to grow Amish paste next year. I have tried to grow it for 2 years now, and in 2 years I have not harvested a single Amish paste tomato. So I think maybe it might just be too hot here for that tomato. So I'm not going to give the garden space to it again. I'm going to save the garden space for something that I know is going to give me food. Indigo apple. The tomatoes were beautiful and they tasted really good. This one was the first to produce, but it was also the very first to get sick. I had to cut that plant down back in June. So it didn't even make it to, it barely made it to the 100-degree days before it got sick, and I had to cut it out. Prairie Fire. It looks really beautiful whenever it's growing on the plant. It has a really interesting, almost like upside down teardrop shape because it comes to a point at the bottom. But I didn't like that it had what I'm going to call stretch marks all over it, because then that made the skin really tough. And we don't necessarily like the skins to be that tough. So I'm not going to grow that one again. I did like the flavor of it. It looked really cool, but because of those stretch marks, I'm not going to devote the garden space to it. But I do have some new to me varieties that I will grow in 2023 because we love salsa, right? So I did some research for the best salsa tomatoes, and so we're going to be growing some Romas, and I do have some Romas out there, and there's a couple on a plant that are growing. I'm just waiting for them to get ripe, but I'm going to grow more. I'm going to grow San Marzano, Sioux, Super Sioux, and then I have some heat tolerant varieties so that we can try to continue to get fruits throughout the summer instead of everything just kind of stopping. So we're going to have Arkansas Traveler, Jersey Devil, Opalka, Rebelski, Sakura, and then these three are just for fun because they're interesting looking. Mushroom Basket, which is like really fluted all the way around. I think it looks really cool, and I'm really interested in trying it. And then Chocolate Stripes, which is kind of like a brown and red kind of marbled stripy
Does
tomato.
it taste good?
I hope so. We're gonna find out, huh?
I'll try it.
You'll try it?
Because it sounds good.
And then one more heirloom that actually comes from Texas called the Texas Star. So that covers what I'm definitely going to grow, what I'm not going to grow. And then, you know, like I said, I'm kind of undecided on that evil olive. What are you excited about?
The chocolate stripes one.
You're excited about the chocolate stripes one? You're out of the frame. You gotta get back in it.
I'm excited about the chocolate stripes one.
Okay.
And I've been in this adventure since 2020.
You've been on this adventure since 2020. This was the year we got the most tomatoes, huh?
Yeah.
We got lots and lots, didn't we?
Yeah.
Hello, Lily.
Hello. Here's our my sister.
You want to come say hello to YouTube?
Oh, do you want to say hello to YouTube? Hi, YouTube.
Here's Lily with the mermaid hair.
And frozen cycle.
If there's anyone in this house who is not excited about any of the garden tomatoes, it would be Lily with the mermaid hair. But that's okay. Maybe one day she'll like them.
Maybe, like we can make tomato sauce with them.
We can make tomato sauce with them? That's
Oh,
right,
yeah,
we can.
Homemade tomato sauce.
There's 2 bags in the freezer, so we can devote one to pizza sauce for Logan and then the other one to spaghetti sauce for you. How about that?
I was thinking pizza.
Okay, well then the other bag I'm calling dibs for salsa.
A pescetti pizza.
Ew.
I meant to say pescetti and pizza.
Spaghetti and pizza?
Yeah.
We do have lots of basil out here, so we can make some yummy pizza.
A lot of Italian food.
Yes. Yeah, we'll work on that, okay?
We'll try to work on
Parmesan and mozzarella.
Mozzarella.
Oh, that hurt. Why'd you let me do that?
Sorry.
Don't say sorry. You didn't let me do it. I just did it. You know I do my own
Do
thing.
you want to come say?
Okay, well thank you guys so much for watching today. That's all I have. I do apologize for the state of my voice. It's actually better than it has been the last couple of days. So I wanted to get out here before it left completely again. If you did like today's video and you want to see more content, please make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. That way you know whenever there will be new uploads. I am trying to upload every Thursday, but that's a keyword there, is trying.
What is this?
It's me moving my fingers.
Okay.
And just one more quick announcement. My fall soap collection is live in my store. The link to the store is down below in the subscription box. Please go check that out. There's 12 wonderful, amazing, very fall-oriented special edition soap bars that we made here in our kitchen. So thank you again.
We like soap.
We like soap. Thank you.
Yes, we do. We sometimes hope her, but
Yeah.
I don't that much because I'm too Busy playing Fortnite.
Well, thank you guys again so much for watching today, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Bye.